We had homework from number 16 till 23, test 4A. So let's cover together. As you can find, this question talk about convention of standard English. And you know that the convention of standard English, this is domain 4. It covers two main skills: form, structure, and sense, and cover boundaries. The boundaries, the punctuation. As you can find here, you're going to find that he's talking about grammar. So talk about form, structure, and sense. And you're going to find here that it was singular, they were plural, this was singular, some were plural. So we have two singular and two plural. And you know the rule of odd one out. We said in the odd one out, we take the one that is different, but you have to return to the text. Now, as you can find here, it's completely different because we have two singular and two plural. It, this, singular, also was. They, some, plural with were. So let's find from the text. It's going to be singular or plural. Then we're going to choose the right answer. He said in 1930, Japanese-American artist Chura Obata depicted the natural beauty of Yosemite National Park in two memorable woodcuts. Then he put colon, so this explanation or examples. Evening at Carl Inn and Lake Passan in the High Sierra. I'm going to read all, despite that I told you that you have to read only the sentence that had the missing. But why I didn't read only the one that has the missing? Because the one that had the missing doesn't have any indicator for what we're talking about. In 2019, exhibit alongside 150 of Opta's other works in a single artist show at the Smithsonian American Art Museum. So here he talk about the woodcuts. So it's plural. So I'm going to cancel A and C. So now we have they were and some were. You know that some used for some of a whole. And here only we have two. So it's better to say they were. So the right answer is going to be they were. Number 17. Again, if you find that the choices have punctuation canceled or added, so this is convention of standard English boundaries. So here he said essays, comma, praising, essays and praising, essays praising, essays full stop praising. Do we have things look like each other? No, because here full stop, here nothing, here and, here comma. So what you're gonna do, take the sentence that had the missing part, it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. So let's analyze it. American writer Edwidge Dant Cat did the subject. Who? Where did the verb? We still, and we cannot separate the subject and the verb with a comma. It's wrong. Except that we have an essential phrase or clause between the subject and the verb. So who immigrated from Haiti in 1981? This is dependent clause. Has one, did the verb, and did the independent. So American writer Edwidge Dant Cat has one. Acclaimed for her powerful short stories, novels, and essays. Okay, till here, we can find that the sentence is done. Let's continue. Praising her lyrical yet unflinching depictions of her native country's turbulent history, comma. There is a comma. So when we're going to put the comma, we put the comma if this is a modifier. If this is a modifier, and it can be a modifier. But we must find the subject and the verb. Writer Robert and Tony has compared. Yes, we have subject and verb. So this is a new sentence. So now we have independent. In the middle of it, dependent. Then we have another independent. So we must put comma, fanboy, semicolon, full stop. So the answer is going to be D. Number 18. Here we have bounds helped. Bounds, comma, helping. Bound that helped. Bounds to help. As you can find that here we have a verb. Here we don't have a verb. Here we have a verb. Here we don't have a verb. So we don't have the odd one out. Let's look at the part that had the missing sentence. Just to know that we need a verb or not. His energetic gestures announcing. Take care. Energetic gestures announcing when a player had struck out and his habit of barreling after a hit bill to see if it would land out of. Wait, Dr. Tamer. Now we need just to analyze this. He said here his energetic gestures announcing. This is a noun, the subject. So where is the verb? Where is the verb for this one? We can't find. When a player, so this is a dependent. We have the subject here, player, had struck a verb. Okay, out and his habit of barreling after a head ball to see if it what? It would land. I got another dependent clause. So now we have a subject without a verb. Then dependent with when. Subordinate conjunction. Then another dependent with if. Out of bounds. So where's the verb of this sentence? His energetic gesture. So we need a verb. We need a verb. So cancel B and D. Can I say that helped or helped? If I put that, so now we're going to have three dependent clauses. When a player had struck, if it would land, and this is going to be wrong because still now, if I put that helped, so it's going to be another dependent. But we don't have the verb for the independent clause. His energetic gestures helped. So the answer is A. Number 19, gingerbread, dash, gingerbread, comma, gingerbread, colon. And we know that the colon, what come after it, explanation or examples. Take care that the dash and the comma, they have the same function. They have the same function to separate an essential sentence. So let's find the underlined part or the part that had the missing part here. He said here 2014 novel boy, the subject. Snowbird, for instance, is the verb. The verb is a complex retelling of the story of Snow White. So all of that is independent clause. Then comma while, this dependent. Here 2019 novel, gingerbread, the subject, where the verb offers. Okay. So between the subject and the verb, we cannot separate. We cannot separate them. The subject, the verb, subject and the verb, we cannot separate between them. We can't put anything between them. We can't put anything between them except that there is a phrase between them or a clause that it's not essential. But here, the subject and the verb come after each other. So we're not going to separate it with anything. So the answer is C. Number 20, as you can find, those. Now they are pronouns. This is domain 4, scale number 1. Those plural, one singular, them plural, it's singular. So let's find the underlined part or the sentence that had the missing part. In close collaboration with musicians, this is a prepositional phrase. Stradivari introduced subject verb, independent. It changed to the shape of tradition violin. Then we have here a modifier. Flattening some of the instrument's curves and making. We're talking about the violin. We're talking about the instrument. So it's singular. So delete A and C. Can I say one? Now one is going to be instead of he or she. So it's better to say it. It. Making it lighter overall. 21. This one of the complicated one that you have to put it in your mind when you are analyzing. Okay. We have antiquity, comma, however, and take the however is a transition to show contradiction. Antiquity, comma, however, comma. Antiquity, comma, however, semicolon. Antiquity, however, comma. So let's find the missing part. But take care. I told you in transition, if they come in boundaries, take care that if we have 3 sentences, I'm going to repeat again. If we have 3 sentences, if the relationship between sentence 2 and sentence 3, if the relationship between sentence 2 and sentence 3, we'll put comma fanboys, semicolon, or full stop, then the transition, then comma. If the contradiction between 2 and 3, if the contradiction between 1 and 2, take care. But what about what we're going to put between 1 and 2? You can put comma fanboy, semicolon, or full stop. If the contradiction between, I'm sorry. the contradiction between 1 and 2. So in that case, you're gonna put comma, transition, then comma fanboys, different from here. Comma fanboys, semicolon, full stop. What about 1 and 2? Put comma fanboys, semicolon, full stop between them. So the same thing will happen here and here between 1 and 2. But if the contradiction between 1 and 2, so the difference is gonna be here. Comma, transition, comma fanboys, semicolon, full stop. If the contradiction between 2 and 3, so comma fanboys, transition or semicolon transition or full stop transition, comma. Take care of that. Take care of that. Okay, let's find first. What we're gonna do, let's find. Do we have 3 sentences? Yeah, sure. Where are they? Let's read the one that has the missing parts. They were subject verb. Did the first sentence. They were not the first in England to adopt the literary modes of classical antiquity. Okay, did the second sentence. Some, did the subject, of the most prominent figures of the earlier Renaissance period were, did the second sentence. Now we need to find, is the relation or the contradiction between sentence 2 and sentence 3, to choose this one, comma fanboys, transition, semicolon, transition, full stop, transition, after the transition, comma. So which one of these? This is wrong completely. This is wrong completely because it doesn't match this or this. Here we have comma, however, comma. Even this will happen if however come only between one sentence. But here we have 2 sentences, so also this wrong. Here we have comma, however, semicolon. Comma, transition, comma, fanboys, no. So this match this, look. Comma, transition, comma, fanboys, or semicolon, full stop. So this match between the contradiction between 1 and 2. Here completely wrong. So the only one that is right is C. But I want to be sure that the contradiction between sentence 1 and sentence 2. Let's find first. He said, they were not the first in England to adopt the literary modes of classical antiquity. Some of the most prominent figures of the earlier Renaissance period were also influenced by ancient Greek and Roman literature. No, the contradiction is not between 2 and 3. Now let's read sentence 1 and 2. During the English New Classical period, 1660, 1789, many writers imitated the epic poetry and satires of ancient Greece and Rome. They were not the first. It's between sentence 1 and 2. They were not the first in England to adopt the literary modes of classical antiquity. So now we're going to apply this, comma, transition, comma, fanboys, or semicolon, or full stop. So the answer is C. Number 22, now we go to the transition. In answering in transition, we have to find the function of each word first. In other words, yes, Raf.
Mister, I don't understand why it's C. From my point of view, I see that the relationship is between sentence 2 and sentence 3.
How? Let's make it in Arabic. They were not the first in England to adopt the literary modes of classical antiquity. ما كانوش أول ناس في إنجلترا إن هم يطبقوا الأساليب الأدبية بتاعة الحاجات القديمة. Some of the most prominent figures of the earlier Renaissance period were also influenced by ancient Greek and Roman literature. بعض من الأشخاص المشهورين من عصر النهضة المبكر تأثروا أيضا بالأدب الروماني والإغريقي. فين هنا بقى الاثنين ازاي contradiction مع بعض يا رهف؟ لكن هنا بيقول لك ايه؟ During the English New Classical period 1660-1789, many writers imitated the epic poetry and satires of ancient Greece and Rome. العديد من الكتاب أخذوا الشعر والساتاير بتاع روم والجريس القديم. They were not the first. هم ما كانوش أول ناس. يبقى ال contradiction between sentence 1 and sentence 2. تمام يا رهف؟ غير كده يا رهف احنا ما بصينا اصلا على الاختيارات ولا اختيار منهم يمشي مع الحاله دي او مع الحاله دي غير سي. يعني هنا في كوما however احنا عندنا 2 sentences هنا 2 sentences هنا اهو. خلاص احنا قايلين ان في 2 independent clauses. يعني المفروض لا اما نحط كوما transition كوما فان بويز او سيميكولن او فول ستوب او ان احنا نحط كوما سيميكولن فول ستوب transition كوما. دي غلط. ودي غلط ودي غلط، فالوحيده اللي صح هي سي. تمام. Just wait please, give me 1 minute. Okay. Now the transition, the question of transition, he said the logical, as you can find, the logical transition. So this is domain 3, domain 3. In transition, you have to find at first the function of each word. You have to find the function of each word. So, in other words, rephrase. Therefore, cause and effect. Likewise, agreement or similarity. Nevertheless, contradiction. So what you're going to do, find the space, find the sentence before and sentence after to find the function between them. Sometimes they give us two choices that they have the same function. In that case, you put them aside. Don't cancel them. Put them aside. Let's find. One poll taken after the first 1960 presidential debate suggested that John Kennedy lost badly. Then colon, explanation. Only 21% of those who listened on the radio rated him the winner. The sentence after. The debate was ultimately considered a victory. How? How here he said lost badly and here a victory for the Trojanic younger senator who rated higher than his opponent, Vice President Richard Nixon, among those watching on the new medium of television. And here radio and here television. So here contradiction, nevertheless. Contradiction, nevertheless. 23 again. Still contradiction. I wish that you are writing the words of transition and write the function. And I think I gave you paper before that show you all of this. And I'm gonna make it again or I'm gonna share it again for the people that they joined late. Still contradiction. Therefore cause and effect. Indeed. Emphasize. اللي هو بالفعل. Furthermore. Addition. Take a sentence before and sentence after. Huh? She was studying firsthand the color saturated style of France's modernist masters and beginning to make a name for herself as a painter. Wait, Dr. Tamer, who's she? Who is she? I need to know who is she. So take a sense before, no problem. In November 1934, Amrita Shergill was living in what must have seemed like the ideal city for a young artist, Paris. So she was living in Paris at the ideal city for painter, for artists. She was studying firsthand the color saturated styles of France's modernist masters and beginning to make a name for herself as a painter. The sentence after. Shergill longed to return to her childhood home of India. How? Okay, let's continue. Only there she believed could her art truly flourish. But here he said that the ideal city for artists, Paris. And then here he said that she wants to return to India because she wants her art truly flourish. So this contradiction still. That was the homework of last time. Now you're gonna start solving. Number 24 and write the answer in the chat box, please. But just give me a minute. No one write anything until I make it individual. Bismillah. Okay, start writing right now. Number 24. Waiting for your answer. Number 24. Waiting for the answer from علي سويلم, آسر أيمن, رفيف. آسر أيمن, you slept يا آسر. اوكي لا. آسر أيمن, hello. آسر أيمن. آسر. آسر أيمن. Okay. So let's find the answer for number 24. As you can find here, similarly, agreement, finally, sequence, therefore, cause and effect, specifically, specialization. When I give a special example for something. So, let's find a sentence before and after. He said in his 1925 book, The Morphology of Landscape, U.S. geographer Carl Sor challenged prevailing views about how natural landscapes influence human cultures. Sor argued that instead of being shaped entirely by their natural surroundings, cultures play an active role in their own development by virtue of their interaction with the environment. So, as you can find in the first sentence, he said a challenge. And he continued that what is the kind of challenge that he argued? So is it a kind of agreement? It's kind of agreement because he continued the example. It's just to make it special. Sequence, no. Cause and effect, no. So it's specifically. And all of you got it right, except Asir Ayman didn't answer it. Let's go to number 25. Again, transition. Write the answer, please, on the chat box. Number 25, I'm waiting for Malik. Okay. Unfortunately, it changed. Okay, unfortunately, this question, many of you got it wrong. Many of you got it wrong. I have, no, only two. Two got it wrong. Let's find together number 25. As you can find, furthermore, addition, still contradiction, consequently, cause and effect, next sequence. So let's take a sentence, before and after. Before and after. Take care. Whenever you find before dates and after dates, it can be sequence. But we have to be sure. Here he said, although those who migrated to California in 1849 dreamed of finding gold nuggets in stream beds, the state's rich deposits were buried deeply in rock beyond the reach of individual prospectors. Okay, we have another date. By 1852, it can be next, but let's continue. Many had given up. Given up, they give up their fortune hunting dreams and gone to work for one of the large companies capable of managing California's complex mining operation. So, can I say next? It can be next, but it's better because they actually give up their dream. So, consequently, because they can't reach, consequently. So, the answer is C. The answer is C, no D. So let's go to question number 26, and now domain 3, but the rhetorical synthesis, and we know how to answer it. Waiting for your answer, please, on the chat box. I'm still waiting for Ali Swalam, Esser Ayman, Rafif. Okay. Only one that got this question wrong. Only one that got this question wrong. Let's find together. Don't forget that when we come to answer the rhetorical synthesis, we look at the goal. Here, the goal, he said what? Present the Quanchcon study and its conclusion. So I need the study and its conclusion. Two goals. The study and its conclusion. Let's find. As part of a 2013 study of cat domestication, a chemical analysis was conducted on cat bone fragments found in Quancheng, China. But here he doesn't give us, maybe he mentioned the study, but where is the conclusion? He doesn't tell us about the ending result. Nothing. He just talk about what did they do. Here in B, a 2013 analysis of cat bone fragments found in Quancheng, China, okay, did the study, suggests that a cat there may have been domesticated 5,300 years ago. And here the conclusion. Here the conclusion. The study suggests. So here the study and the conclusion. Let's find C. In 2013, archaeologists studied what cats in Quancheng, China had eaten more than 5,000 years ago. Here also the study. Where is the conclusion? Nothing. And he said conclusions. Cat bone fragments estimated to be 5,300 years old were found in Quancheng, China in 2013. This is the conclusion. Where is the study? So the answer is B. The answer is B. Let's go to number 27. Waiting for Rafif. Look at the goal, Rafif. And this is one of the easiest questions because the goal is clear. And we said here, if you find that there are two answers that can be suitable, we're going to eliminate the others and go to the bullets to find the answer. If you are mixed between two answers. Okay. All of you, mashallah, got it right. So let's find together number 27. What you want? What is the goal? To emphasize a difference in the origin of the two words. To emphasize a difference in the origin of the two words. Let's find which one here show the difference between the origin of two words. Take care. The origin of two words. Garden, the final word of 2000 of the 2008 Scripps National Spelling Bee, is of Anglo-French origin. While that show contradiction, and here he talk about the origin. The following year's final word, Ludician, derives from ancient Greek. Yes, here it showed the difference between the origin of two words. In 2008, Samir Mishra won the Scripps National Spelling Bee by correctly spelling the word garden. However, there's a contradiction. The following year, Kivya Shivashankar won based on spelling the word Ludician. But wait, here it talk about the spelling of the word. Doesn't talk about the origin of the words. Despite that there is a contradiction. So the right answer till now A. Kivya Shivashankar won the 2009 Scripps National Spelling Bee by correctly spelling Ludician, which derived from the ancient Greek word Ludikia. Where is the other word? It took only about one word. Where is the other word? It's wrong. The Scripps National Spelling Bee uses words from diverse linguistic origins, such as garden and Ludician. Yes, he mentioned the two words, but he doesn't mention anything regarding the contradiction or the difference in the origin of the two words. So your answers are right. Let me send for you the answer key for this one for the people that they like to revise. Until I send, today we're gonna revise a new skill. And I think the last time we revised inferences for domain 1. So today we're gonna start domain 2. And we're gonna start with vocabulary, words in context. I'm just trying to send that sheet for you. Just wait, please. Give me time. When we come to solve the words in context question, it will come in two ways. Whether to tell you to complete the missing part or to underline a word and tell you what does it mean. Like here, the word spread. What does it mean? So these are the two cases. Number one, we solve according to the connotation. The word is positive, negative, or neutral. Positive has a positive meaning. Negative has a negative meaning, or neutral that can carries both. So if we find three positive and one negative, so the answer is going to be according to the odd one out is going to be the negative. But also we want to be sure from the context clue. You have to return to the context clue. So now I want from you to start solving number one, please, and write the answer on the chat box. Number one. I'm still waiting for Ali, Suelem, and Asir. Asir Osama. Number one in the vocab. Ali Suelem is not here. Okay, I'm waiting for Asir Osama. Okay. So I have only one that got it wrong. So let's find together. The first one, as we said, we must find the connotation of each word. Violent, negative. Mundane, something common. So it's a neutral. Intricate, negative, complicated. Distracting, something annoying, negative. So, Dr. Tamer, are we going to take mundane because mundane is neutral? No. Whenever you find neutral, go to the context clue. So, let's find. In the award-winning puzzle game, Monument Valley, players navigate the silent princess idea through a series of puzzles, an optical illusion. The game is known for its what art design, and there is a colon. So what come after the colon? Explanation or examples? Beautiful, okay, positive. Fantastical architecture, positive. And calming pastel colors that make the game both, it's challenging and pretty. It's challenging and pretty. So actually all of them positive, and we don't have positive here. We have only mundane and common. And this will not give us the meaning of common. So what is going to be challenging and pretty is going to be intricate, complicated, معقد. So the answer is C. The answer is C. Let's go to the other question. Number 2. Write the answer please on the chat box. Okay, I think all of you got it right. Number 2. Protect, positive. Borrow, neutral. Postpone, neutral. Decorate, positive. And whenever we have neutral, let's go to the context clue. The Appalachian Trail is a hiking path in the eastern United States. Much of the 2,000-mile trail passes through wilderness areas. In order to those areas, which areas? The wilderness. The United States Congress passed the National Trail System, there's a law act, in 1968, ensuring that the trail would not be sold or commercially developed, so they need to protect it. So the answer is A. Perfect. Let's go to number 3. Waiting for Esser Ayman, number 3. Okay. Again, all of you got it right. Let's find together number 3. Extended positive, quoted positive, discussed neutral, hidden neutral. Again, because we have two neutral, go to the context clue. And here I need the meaning of spread. So he said the following text is from Jan Martel, 2001 novel, Life of Pi. The narrator's family owned a zoo when he was a child. It was a huge zoo spread over numberless acres. قراريط. قراريط, he talk about the distance. Big enough to require a train to explore it. Though it seemed to get smaller as I grew older, train included. So spread here means extended. Extended, and you got it right. Let's go to number 4. Okay. We have here two that they got it wrong. Unfortunately, let's find out together. Fleeting means brief, مختصر. So it can be neutral or negative. Revert means worthy, positive. Obscure, dark, negative. Precarious means unknown, negative. So as you can find, if we're gonna match it with the connotation, we have A, C, D, negative. The only one that is positive is B. So it can be B. It can, but we have to return to the context clue to find out. Here he said the Iguazu Falls, which lie on the border between Argentina and Brazil, are a popular and, you know, the and is a conjunction, fanboys. What come before equal to what come after. So if before it positive, after it positive. If before it negative, after negative. If before neutral, after neutral. So here popular. And popular is positive. So after it's gonna be positive. Till now, I'm right. It's B, revert, worthy. Tourist destination. Okay, Dr. Tamer, I don't know the meaning of revert. But you know the meaning of fleeting. حاجة مختصرة. Obscure. You take it many times. Maybe precarious, maybe you did the first time. But revert is gonna be means worthy. Because of that, whenever we meet new words, please write it down and memorize them. So popular and something negative. Tourist destination. The waterfalls have been visited by people from all over the world for over a century, and they are often cited as one of the most impressive natural wonders on earth. So we are still talking about positive things. We are still talking about positive things. So the meaning is revert. Okay. Let me just stop.